this next text, we have this literary text from the biblical literature or the Hebrew literature, the Job chapter 28, 12 to 26. So the story tells about this 12:26 part of the story is about a poem which was given by about the whole summary of the book Job. In the story, Job suffered like no other. At the beginning of the book, he is portrayed as a blessed man, full of life, wealthy, godly, and happy. 13 verses in and his life begins to change. It falls apart. He eventually loses everything, including his health. In the book of the book, Psalm in 33 chapter is devoted to human trying to process the reason why this is occurring. No satisfactory answers are found. Job has done nothing to deserve it. The dialogue between Job and his friends, both its length and content, demonstrate the emotional turmoil and inability to find an adequate explanation for the dilemma of suffering. So, the main idea of the poem is that human beings are unable to understand why we are righteous to suffer, but instead we have to trust the wisdom of God in how He manages the complexities of the universe. Now, going on with the genre of the poem. The genre of the poem is the wisdom literature, which is why? Because we're sharing Job's perspective that we ourselves call the wisdom, the way of wisdom. And next is the figure of speech of the poem, which is the hyperbole. Hyperbole, why? Because it is the art of telling the idea that is meant to be explained by making it larger or smaller. For example, the phrase of a poem, to establish a rate for the wind and apportion the waters measured. He made a law for the rain and a path for the thunderbolt. So it has the meaning of that phrase of a poem is that the same with God, who masters the natural world, has the riches of wisdom at his disposal. He was demonstrated his own wisdom and power through the design of the natural world. And going on with the theme of the poem, the theme of the whole book is the suffering. But when we talk about the theme of the chapter 28, 12:26, well, it is an enlightenment, because this poem seems to ignore the arguments preceding it as enlightens the reader to the fact that human can do amazing things, but they cannot come close to possessing or even understanding the wisdom God uses to run the universe. So the poem itself is about the enlightenment. So now I'm going to ask, how does it relate to us? So human suffering is a universal problem. It is a common denominator for every human being, and no one is exempted. The book of Job is a unique Bible that gives us the best treatise for dealing with the difficulty. Why do we suffer, and how should we respond to that difficulty or the suffering? With the God's wisdom, we can do anything, and if we believe in God, and we can find answer by trusting God's wisdom. And that is all for the Job 28, 12, 26. Thank you.